What is up, y'all? You know, got the stormtrooper riding the surfboard. Surfboard. We are looking at. So I decided, before I had the last week on my Instagram, right, where I go into a little bit more depth into my posts. Well, we're gonna do that just on Instagram in general, right? So I'm always saving posts, and I was thought, man, I need to utilize my doom scrolling much more efficiently. So here we go. So first video we're looking at, we're going to look like 5 videos, is from Jerry. Shout out to Big Jerry. So feel for the water. I know people are always like, you either have it or you don't. It's so hard to teach. It's about treating it as a lever. Here you can see my comment right here. Right? But when you're sculling, if you're doing it, like, all sculls are done with the arm as a lever, right? If you're doing your elbow skull, this is your pivot point. So when this travels just a little bit, the hand travels a lot of bit, right? Yeah, the wrist doesn't really turn. If we did this, it would be something different, right? You'd slip a ton of water. And that's how most swimmers swim. They go and they have this lever going, but then they have this this joint bending and this joint bending. Itchy inside of the lip. That's weird. And it's just, you slip water. There's no feel for the water. And the reason why is you have this accelerating, right? This angle accelerating, but then you also have this angle accelerating. So this is moving my hand back, and then my elbow is also moving it back. But the way it's moving is not in the way that a lever would move that creates resistance. It's moving for speed. And that's why, like, when I coach athletes, I'm always like, don't pull with your hand. Don't push with your hand. Because that's essentially what ends up happening. You have a swimmer and they go to pull and they're swimming like this instead of here and swimming through a lever. So like I said, with the sculling, you're doing a front skull. It's from the shoulder and the whole arm is the lever. Then you have your elbow-based sculls. So being able to create a feel for the water or a catch or feel that resistance, basically just stop trying to use your hands so much. Use your joints more to pull and, bend it, hold it in a fixed shape, and then move it. All right, let's see what we got next. Okay, so posture. I want y'all to see this. I'm always talking about that lean back posture, right? When you watch this video, you're going to see Cam looks like he's almost standing up. Right? Like, look at how low his butt and his feet are relative and how high up his back is in the water. Right? It looks like he's intentionally trying to push his hips forward. Right? Now, obviously, this is, to a degree, a much less degree than people think it is, him trying to stand up, right? That's what we're going to call it real quick. But it's about getting to the power, right? Because if you're here and you're standing up, the moment that this hand changes any type of, or goes downwards, right? You have zero surface area pointed backwards, right? Here you have a little bit, right? You have a line from here and here. It's just a little bit of space, right? This way. Here to here, you have armpit, hand. That's a huge amount of space pointed backwards. Here you have the most, right? And by the time you're upright with your chest, you get that arm down. Now you have this huge surface area pointed backwards that you can then twist back. So that's why I'm always about posture, is you're going to start using your actual musculature in combination with your rotation in a way that you're actually pushing water backwards. And then the rest is just through the rest of your posture, ribs down, pulling everything back behind you like you see Cam doing, even though it looks like he's standing up. And Jimmy Fegan was very, very good at this naturally. Very good at it naturally. It's like the first athlete I remember seeing this and being like, oh, that's weird. Like, that looks like something that I've never seen somebody do. It looks like a lot of the stuff that I've heard coaches tell kids not to do. And additionally, when you do this, you almost feel like you're swimming, or the way you even coach it is I tell athletes to swim underneath themselves, right? Because when you're swimming with this great posture, when you roll or when you twist, right, front back is twisting. Like, once I'm here, even though I'm upright, my square is always forwards. When I twist a little bit and this arm comes around, one, it's under my chin, but it's also in front of my body, right? Let's see if I can get my body lined up perfectly to the side, right? If I'm squared this way, and I twist forward, the moment this arm comes up, even though it's out here, right, it's at worst even with my body. And then to go forward, now it's in front of my body line, right? So it's low and it's in front. And that's, to me, in my opinion, what makes our technique solution superior is that this is how we coach. Like, we keep everything freestyle motion here in front of the body, where your body is designed to move, and not back where you have these weird pinching sensations in your shoulders and in your shoulder blades because they're in a spot they're not supposed to move through. All right. What's this guy talking about?
We alter speed of limb movement. So if you have a youngster and you say, I want you to run fast, what do they generally do? Say a real young one, 6. They shorten levers and have all kinds of frequency, right? You go, man, I'm really fast, but they're not going anywhere. They're like the Roadrunner running in place. So they failed in this movement strategy. So world-class sprinters, to move faster, they still hit those alarms. They just move through it faster. They find ways to hit those key points, kinematic points, by altering movement strategies. A big place advanced athletes manipulate speed is during what we call the support phase. So when we contact the ground in sprinting, the foot is supinated and we land generally on the ball of the foot. As we're coming to mid-stance, 5 toes touch the ground. The heel sinks. It actually touches the ground in most sprinters, even at top speed. And then we pronate off. So we call that the support phase. So athletes will do things during that support phase to influence ground contact time, which feeds into their ability to run fast or slow. So when you see beginners that are running real slow, what's their contact time like? Forever. And when you see a real fast person, you see a change in contact time. Now, the problem with simple biomechanics is we use algebraic expression to explain it, and it's wrong. So how many people have heard of the impulse formula? So it says the harder you throw something, the faster it gets off the ground, the more return you have. That's why everybody's locked up in this stiffness chase. Oh, we got to be stiffer, so hit the ground harder and faster and all that. But the human body is a series of springs and couples. There's a unique amount of time you need to be on the ground for you to express your skills and abilities. I coach 3 long jumpers that are all 8 meter plus. One's an Olympic champion, one's a silver medalist of the world champs, another's an international finalist. One guy's off the board super quick. One guy's on the board for 5 days. You could go to the bathroom, come back, he still hasn't taken off. And the third guy's somewhere in the middle, but they're all Olympic class long jumpers. So that's the danger of inferences of using algebraic math in 3-dimensional differential equation movement. So ground support.
Okay, so this is actually a really good video. I was like, why did I save this? This was obviously a while back, 12 weeks ago. With my Rakeley Technique Solutions, right, I use algebraic math. Like, I may not be algebraic or maybe higher. I'm not sure, but I use math, right? Now, in a movement pattern, you have an equation, right, that has there's some equation out there that's going to produce the highest value. Let's just say pulling, right? The pulling equation, x, y, z over 10 squared, whatever it is, produces 100 pull, right? So what I'm doing with my technique solutions, we're talking about if I was making it, right? It's already, I figured this stuff out already, is trying to figure out like what the variables are and what produces the highest outcome in that equation. Now, you don't need the specifics unless you're actually going to write like a dissertation or whatever. All you need to know is that when you change a variable, you're either going to get the same, less, or more. Wow, the same, less, or more. So, and you can observe these things in terms of strength output, in terms of racing speed, in terms of stroke speed, difficulty, I guess to a degree, wear and tear slash, sorry guys, my legs are itching. Not recovery, but how quickly you burn out using it, right? So in a way, not in a way, for all those different ways you can value it, there's different equations, right? So you have your freestyle pulling equation, trying to get 100 for efficiency in terms of how slow you wear out or how fast you wear out, right? We're trying to optimize that. And each thing we change, it's going to have a negative effect on something and a positive effect and keep something the same. So when we're making these drills and we isolate, like you have to isolate down to a point to where you get the actual thing. So this would be like bouncing, right? Where the purpose of bouncing is to focus purely on the anchor, right? Now we know that because of this anchor, the body displaces through the water instead of the hand displacing through the water. Now, if we did this and the hand slipped through the water, that's one way we can measure it. And if it slips, we know we didn't get what we wanted. If it doesn't slip and the body moves, we know we got what we wanted. Now, when we're bouncing, we're going vertical. That's not a variable that we want. So that's its own equation that we need to change. Now, how much can we change this without losing what we got? What's the specific thing, the specific variable that satisfies both and affects the body displacing, the bouncing, that's what we're going to call it, the lease, our ability to bounce the lease, but also changes that direction from more vertical to more horizontal, which is ultimately just dropping those eyes in. So I say all that to say, like when we're doing our technique solutions, like the reason I can be so confident in its ability to deliver is one, because it's math driven, right? And then two, like when these math is done right, the body's going to recruit muscles, which means it has multiple additional equations that you can now use to get better, right? You can go lift in the weight room, or variables, right? I can get stronger, right? If I get stronger, I can bounce more aggressively or more powerfully, correctly. I'm not sure what the term would be. Better. I can bounce better, right? Displace my body further better. All the muscle groups that are around that, right? The lat, your core, your shoulder, your ability to contract the shoulder, which is those three itty bitty those three muscles that are in the shoulder, right? Your ability to keep that spine engaged when you go to rotate or twist front to back. It's just, but you got to know what that equation is, right? You got to know what that equation is. And like, that's the reason why I'm so sure about the technique solutions, is for that exactly. All right, our last video, are we talking chase starts? All right, so if you do chase starts, guys, and you've never tried to or caught somebody, you ain't doing chase starts right. Like, it's in the name. Go and chase them. Okay, catch them. Try and flip on top of their body if you can. I think I've caught one person in my career. You usually end up having a great swim, in my experience, because you're not focused on how bad you feel. You're just trying to catch the person in front of you. IM races are generally pretty good. Two fly is a good race to try and catch people, or butterfly races, 100 fly. What else is a good race? 200 free can be a good race. 100 fly, or especially two fly. Those are really the only races now that I think about it, because the rest of them, everybody's too fresh, or the speed difference isn't big enough. If you're a breaststroker, male breaststroker, in the top heat in a chase start against the last heat of girls, there's another one. That's a big one. That's a big time catch. But yeah, man, like, go catch the swimmer. The goal, catch the swimmer ahead or stay in front, build strategy. Like, that's the goal. The goal is purely to catch the swimmer right there. You know, he's throwing up options. No, there's only one option. Go catch him. So that's it for today, guys. You know, I didn't know if I wanted to do old videos I had or new videos. These are old videos, like I said. I think this is 15 weeks ago, right? So it'll be better as we go through it, especially, you know, I'm trying to catch back up on things, and I don't want to run out of content and then start with new content and then go backwards, right? I want to keep moving myself forward. So, you know, we'll figure this out and get better at it as we go. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. I gotta be better about asking all questions during this. Leave a comment. Let us know if you like this series. We're gonna drop it on Wednesdays. Tuesdays will be my Instagram review, and then Wednesdays will be just what we see doom scrolling. Yeah, and make sure you hit that notification bell, guys, so you can be notified whenever we drop a video. Peace.